Say, who does the subtitles for a film of yours? How does that get done?
This one were very carefully taken care of. They were done by Charles Bukowski, the American novelist, which is not very well known in America.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of the sequences in the picture are coming from Charles Bukowski short novels. And they were worked again by two friends, which are Barbet Schroeder and Jean-Pierre Gorin, who are French movie maker who lived here. So I think the subtitles, for once, are quite good.
This is just an aside, but I just wondered how important spelling is to you, because there's one moment when there's only one word in the subtitle and it's spelled wrong. Despair is spelled D-I-S in the...
Well, that's...
I thought maybe it was a pun or something.
I don't like subtitles very much. I wish sometimes there would be just a presentation, an introduction to, for example, I wish someone like Norman Mailer would like my movie and would feel he'd like to introduce it to the American audience.
Right there on the screen.
Or a presentation, and maybe after a subtitle or a dub version, but first a presentation, an introduction. Let me introduce, and he'll speak and comment the way he wants.
On film, on the screen?
Well, on film, on screen, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a third way to do it, which I'll try to experiment on one of those.
Don't feel bad about spelling. Makarova is spelled wrong in a headline in the Times today, so apparently spelling doesn't count. You referred to some recent film as being awful because it was black and white.
No. Maybe it was because it was bad, awful black and white.
Oh, awful black and white. You're not opposed to making a black and white film these days, clearly.
I think next Martin Scorsese picture, which is in black and white, it will be very beautiful.
I think maybe you thought...
a Woody Allen
It could have been
picture?
Woody Allen, that Manhattan...
Yeah, I think it's not a good black and white.
You'd rather have seen, say, could it have been Manhattan in color? You think it would have added something rather than...
No, I think, I wonder why you want black and white. I think it's more a literary idea than a painting idea, needing really black and white for painting reason.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's more, well, a gimmick.
There are no scripts for your movies.
Yeah, there are, but not the way you are doing it here.
I mean, the actors don't receive a script in the mail, a full script before.
These are my next two scripts, and you say that.
I can barely see those. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I...
Other.
But there are only 3 words per page.
No, it was just, no, it's a beginning. I'm beginning to work, you see, taking it.
Oh, yes. It's fascinating. Well, I bet I could get a pretty penny for these at least.
Give it back to you.
You'd be out of work for 2 years if I pocketed those. Monsieur Godard, are you game for another session like this? Because there's so many more things that I want to get to with you, and we've run out of time.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you encore une fois.
Merci.
Jean-Luc Godard. Thank you. Thank you. This is part 2 of a conversation I've been having with the celebrated French film director Jean-Luc Godard, who, when the movie Breathless first hit this country, hit like a bombshell, it did, and as people talked about, it's defining a whole new grammar for movies, revolutionizing the movie-making technique, and so on and so on. There's a lot to talk to him about, so let's assume that you have welcomed him again, and we'll not not waste time with applause, or Mike saying the opposite of what I mean, and get started. I'm always surprised when I read the list of filmmakers that you grew up on or admired as a young man going to movies, because their films are unlike your own. I may be wrong, but they seem that way. People can come out of a Godard movie and say, I just don't quite get it the way I understand a Hitchcock movie when I see that 2 people are searching for a key, and if they don't find it before the Nazis get them, and the plot goes from A to B and so on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in what sense are you a Hitchcock fan, and why don't we see it in your work? Or should we?
By that time, I mean, we were, or maybe I consider myself as I'm part of the audience, and I'd like to see movies or images and sound and stories told to me through images and sound. But I realize that to have my own, to see the right story I want to see, I have to participate, and I can't only give $5 and receive a huge piece of fantasy or mystery or something. I have to work on it. I feel responsible of what I see, and the best way to answer to this responsibility is to go on to making movie. In that, so I'm at least sure I will receive the right movie for me to see, or if I don't, I will be responsible for it because I've made it.
Yeah. But are you ever tempted to make a movie just in the genre of someone else?
Well, I thought in Breathless. I was raised through American movie, and when I was first making Breathless, to me, I thought it was just I was making a Fritz Lang movie for Warner, or a Preminger movie for, I don't know, Warner too.
A Frisson movie?
Yeah, and then I discovered later it was more Alice in Wonderland than a Mark Dixon detective story. And that puzzled me completely, because I was aware I was not capable, I was completely out of control.
Do you mean when you saw the movie you were surprised at what it was, or when you read what was said about it?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. But since I made it, I mean, I was obliged to look to myself. I mean, again, it took me almost, but instead of looking in a mirror, to look through a camera, which is a kind of a mirror, and with the help of other people, look through me through others. Yeah. And then it took me almost 20 years to recover myself. And I think that in this movie, you just show a little bit of it.
Yeah, on the other show.
Yeah, it's my first movie which is coming out of me. That's, in that sense, I say it's my second first movie.
You mean it's really out of you and not influenced by other people?
Not influenced, shocked, moved, passed by, but not influenced.
Well, that gives it an added interest.
And it gives me well, I'm no more anguish anymore, and I think it's a huge relief for me not to be anguished anymore.
Do you mean that something big has changed in your personal life that makes you now a different filmmaker?
Yes, less. Well, the anguish is over.
What happened?
I don't know. I think I've been able to go. Yeah, it's like if I was, I mean, going to the screen and then diving into the screen and then being lost. But then I came, in that sense, I came back to the screen. But from the, it's like going back into childhood, but not using the same entry door, using the back door, or maybe the second floor window. You see, when nobody's waiting for us, and so they are not surprised, and you have no, I don't know, it's something strange, but my main feeling is I'm not anguished anymore. I'm not anguished to produce a masterpiece or a piece of shit. I mean, it's just, I have no anguish. It's not...
We have that word in English, too.
Yeah, it's... I don't know what your problem is when you are making a TV show like that. Why do you want to talk to people regularly? I think it must be very... Well, this is a question I'm asking myself.
Good question, yeah.
And I think it's difficult to talk to people.
Yes.
I just did a series of 6 hours with a little girl and a boy in Paris 3 years ago. And my first meeting with a little girl, I canceled it about 5 times. It was only a 10-minute take. And I canceled it because I discovered I don't have 10 10 minutes is, I don't have things to say to her for 10 minutes. I mean, things different from in which school do you go, where are you do you like your mother, or things like that. I mean, real things to say to someone which is very different from you. I mean, which is 40 years old. There is a 40 years of space between you.
Yeah. You're talking about an interview not on film,
Yeah,
but in person. Yeah.
And I think the trouble with interviews like that we feel obliged to speak. There is no silence.
This can hurt an interview if they're too long.